Good morning everyone, Namaskar to all. I welcome all of you to the daily news analysis session by Tathastu ICS. Good morning everyone. Good morning Lokesh, Khan Bhai, Deepti, Rishi. Good morning everyone. So before we begin today's session, these are the 4 courses which I would like to mention if any of the aspirant wants to join the GS Foundation morning batch. It's starting from 19th of April 2025. This GS Foundation would provide you with structured curriculum as well as quality learning. So anyone who wants to get enrolled in GS Foundation, the date is 19th of April. Then we have GS Foundation evening batch. Evening batch are for the working professionals who can do their job and along with their academic preparation, UPSC preparation and the quality environment, quality teaching which you'll get at Tathastu ICS. So the batch is starting from 19th of April. Both have the same dates. Along with GS Foundation batches, we have philosophy as well as PSI or optional. Philosophy optional starting from 7th of April 2025 and PSI are optional by Manoj Sharma sir, who has more than 22 years of experience. He's a renowned faculty. Anyone who wants to join the PSI or optional, the starting date is 7th of April 2025. You can also take the screenshot of this and share with your friends if anyone wants to join the course. Good morning Lokesh, Gagan, Sonali, Lavanya. I'm doing great Lokesh. I hope you all are studying really well. Good morning everyone. So under today's news, under mains Manthan, we will be discussing 2 important editorials. The first editorial, how do habitual offender laws discriminate? So this editorial talks about the discriminatory nature of the habitual offender laws in India and how they are impacting the denotified tribes, the nomadic tribes as well as the semi-nomadic tribes. Basically, this editorial is there in the news today because of the Supreme Court intervention. Supreme Court is asking the state government that why you people have not repealed these laws, and even if you have not repealed these laws, you are targeting the Vimukta Jati, the denotified tribes, these semi-nomadic tribes, and it leads to the social exclusion of these communities. Then we have tuberculosis crisis and women engaged communities key to ending TB. Then again TB we have been discussing on and off. Around 5 days or a week ago also I discussed TB with you. Why this is in news? Because 24th of March we have World Tuberculosis Day, and this editorial talks about the gender disparities in the tuberculosis crisis. Gender disparity, when I say, it automatically gives the focus to the women, that women are facing social exclusion, women are facing difficulty in getting the diagnosis, in getting the care for the TB treatment, and that is what we will discuss in the TB crisis editorial. Then under prelims Arthi we have Theyyam. What is Theyyam? It's a art we'll discuss, and which state celebrates Kaliyattam festival. Then we have Defense Acquisition Council. Who heads the Defense Acquisition Council? We will be seeing who's the chairman. Then we have IMAC. IMAC is India, Middle East, Europe Corridor. It's in news since G20, right? So I'm expecting a question this year prelims. It's on and off in news. So I've tried to cover it from prelims perspective and holistically I cover. Thank you Ragini, Dheeraj, Khan Bhai. Very good Khan Bhai. India's target at 2025 and world target is 2030. We are aiming to achieve this year, that is 5 years ahead of global target. Very good Khan Bhai. Then we have Windfall tax. What is Windfall tax? We will be discussing. You can expect a question Windfall tax sometimes in news. What is it? These are the type of questions which UPSC frames. So the first editorial talks about how do habitual offender laws discriminate? Why in news? As I have mentioned, SC intervened into constitutionality of such laws, and syllabus it covers Indian polity, governance as well as social justice, right? Then the first slide, it itself talks about the Supreme Court stance on habitual offender laws. So basically Supreme Court is saying, despite basically, okay, I'll explain you this way how habitual offenders law traces its origin. So in British era we had Criminal Tribes Act 1871. Under that act, few of the tribes were notified as criminal by the Britishers, and those tribes were meant to register themselves with the local magistrate. If they are not getting registered themselves with the local magistrate, they can be charged under a crime under Indian Penal Code. So this was led to highly discrimination for these communities. These communities started facing social exclusion. उनकी कोई गलती नहीं भी होती थी तो भी पहला एक गिल्टी ऑप्शन उन्हीं के ऊपर जाता था, एक सस्पिशन उन्हीं के ऊपर जाता था कि इफ देयर इज अ रॉबरी केस, इफ देयर इज अ थेफ्ट केस, इफ देयर इज बर्गलरी, इफ देयर इज एनीथिंग, they would be charged for that crime. So Supreme Court has said in October 2024, the Supreme Court questioned the constitutionality of habitual offender laws which were seen as discriminatory, particularly towards denotified tribes. Denotified tribes, the Vimukta Jati. Right? So Supreme Court is saying that these laws are not only unjust, these are discriminatory in nature. These led to the exclusion of these communities, these historically marginalized communities. Until today, even after independence, the Act, Criminal Tribes Act 1871 got repealed, but few states still acting on that act. Right? So the court acknowledged that these laws were originally meant to replace the Criminal Tribes Act, but were still used to target specific communities based on their historical criminalization. Then we will see here, I have mentioned here, denotified tribes, also known as Vimukta Jati, originally listed as criminal tribes, addicted to non-bailable offences. If they are caught under some of the act, they are non-bailable, they can't get the bail. And once a tribe become notified, all its members required to register themselves with the local magistrate, otherwise it would lead to a crime under the Indian Penal Code. Then we will see the origin of habitual offender classification. So it evolved from colonial era laws, as I said. Gagan Mamta, okay, the video is cutting. Okay, the video, it's working fine. Please refresh, you'll see the video is working fine. Rishi Mamta, I hope the video is working fine now. So the laws have evolved from colonial era laws, that is Criminal Tribes Act of 1871, which categorized entire communities as criminal. Right? Even after the repeal of Criminal Tribe Act in 1952, states continued implementing the habitual laws, with denotified, nomadic and semi-nomadic tribes being disproportionately affected. So basically it's talking about कि हमने law तो repeal कर दिया, the Criminal Tribe Act 1871, but still few of the states are still implementing it. For example, Gujarat still implement this law, right? And when asked by the Supreme Court to Gujarat, so Gujarat is saying it's a necessity and it's not a measure for harassment, right? We are not specifically focusing on the denotified tribe, nomadic tribe, semi-nomadic tribe. We are considering all communities equal, but we are implementing the act, right? And then crimes classified under habitual offender laws, you guys can just refresh the video and it is working fine now, right? Yes, Rishi. It's working fine. It's working fine, beta. The technical guy is sitting here and he's showing the video is working fine now. You all can refresh, please. So when I talk about the crimes classified under habitual offender laws, crimes such as being a thug, belonging to a gang of dacoit and living off prostitution were used to label as a habitual offender. Some states like Rajasthan specifically included people from denotified tribes in their categorization of habitual offenses. So Rajasthan ने क्या किया है? Rajasthan ने denotified tribes के कुछ people को लेके categorize किया है under the habitual offenders category. Then despite the international pressure as well as the other countries are putting pressure, United Nations and National Human Rights Commission have urged for the repeal of these laws, highlighting the adverse effect of these notified tribes. The United Nations as well as NHRC, they have urged that you repeal these laws. It's discriminatory in nature and we can't have it in India, in a democratic nation like India. And then we have this group, that is Denotified and Nomadic Tribe Right Action Group, which has campaigned against the systematic discrimination, calling attention to cases of police violence as well as mob lynching. So what's happening? They are saying that these denotified tribes, these jatis face police violence and mob lynching, and there is no justice for them, right? Then the next talks about the state responses. Here I have mentioned there are two states, that is Punjab and Odisha. They have repealed these laws, but there is a state, that is Gujarat. It's still implementing the laws. So what Gujarat is saying, some states like Punjab and Odisha, they have already discontinued the use of habitual offender laws, while others like Gujarat argue that the laws are not intended for harassment. The classification of habitual offenders continue to disproportionately affect marginalized communities, with Delhi having the higher proportion of habitual offenders in its convict, that is 21.5%, which is not that important from exam. You should be knowing just these examples. Punjab, Odisha repealed the laws, Gujarat still it's implementing. Then we will see what's the way forward. Then states should reconsider the laws to prevent systematic discrimination. बेटा systematic discrimination हो गया ना, इतनी सारी communities है, but state का focus सिर्फ उन 3 communities पे है, the nomadic, the semi-nomadic as well as the denotified tribes, and other communities are good. Other communities are not facing the social expulsion. So to prevent systematic discrimination against these tribes, focus on social and economic empowerment of these tribes via educational rehabilitation, via support programs, launch campaigns to raise awareness about the constitutional issues surrounding habitual offender laws and the discriminatory faced by these tribes, then improve training and sensitization for the police officers as well. So basically we have to sensitize the police, we have to sensitize the we have to provide awareness to them, provide education to them, so that they are working absolutely fine. Okay, I'll take a minute break so that the video, I guess still I'm getting the comments that video is buffering and it's not clear. Okay, just give me a moment, just a moment. Is it working fine now? Abhinav, Gagan, Sonali, okay, you all have given the answers, but the video is working fine, that means, right? I shall start. Shall I? Okay, I'm still getting comments. Deepti, Khan Bhai, Gagan, what issue are you facing? Okay, I can see comments, the video is working fine now. Okay, it's working fine. It's working fine, Mukul. Okay, Vikas. Yeah. So now let's get back. Yeah, everyone, I can see the comments. Cool, let's get back. So basically we have covered the tribe, that is the notified tribe, the nomadic tribe, as well as the semi-nomadic tribe. Why these tribes are so important? At least 4 PYQs I've mentioned here. Try to solve it and understand the importance of this. Okay, I'll just quickly give you a brief what happened in the editorial. Okay, Gagan, Mamta, I can see so many comments. Half of you could not understand the concept. So basically the editorial is talking about the denotified tribe, the nomadic tribe, as well as the semi-nomadic tribe. The Supreme Court has intervened and said that these discriminatory nature of the Habitual Offender Act needs to be deleted. If states are following this, they should not target these communities specifically. Now this act, the Habitual Offender Act, has its origin from the British era, that is the colonial legislation, Criminal Tribes Act 1871. During that time, the Britishers notified few tribes as criminal. Once they notify those tribes as criminal, they are meant to register themselves with the local magistrate, and once they get themselves with the register themselves with the local magistrate, they can be called at any time and they can be charged for the crime under Indian Penal Code. So all this is discriminatory in nature. There are the examples of these states which I'll just tell you. Here 2 states have repealed, Punjab and Odisha, but Gujarat is still implementing this act, right? All this is the summary of this editorial. Okay, now these are the PYQs, right? The first is PYQ was asked in 2024, that is the governor of the state recognizes this is scheduled tribe. Scheduled tribe in a state need not to be in another state. You have to practice these PYQs. Then the next one talks about the PVTG, that is particularly vulnerable tribal group. This was asked in 2019. Now again they have given you 4 statements with the options, so you need to practice these questions as well. Then we have another PYQ from 2014. It has given you the festival, that is ecologically important campaign festival is held during which certain communities and of fruit bearing trees, which of the following such community are the tribes? So these are the tribes. Solve this question. It was asked in 2014, right? Then the next one, consider the following pairs, the tribe as well as the state. So they have given the tribe and they are mentioning that which tribe is located in which state, and they have given you the options. So this, what I'm trying to show here, that many of the PYQs are based on these tribes. So study these tribes very carefully. अगर किसी का कोई specific characteristic है, कोई feature है किसी tribe का, remember that. And that tribe is nationally famous, remember that. You can expect a question. When we have PYQs, we should always focus on those topics more. Then we have mains question as well in 2017. I'll just read the question for you. The question says, what are the 2 major legal initiatives by the state since independence addressing discrimination against the scheduled tribes? It was asked in 2017. So practice these questions as well. Then the next editorial talks about the TB crisis and women, why gender issues matters more than ever. So this was mentioned in the science section. Along with it, I have one more editorial related to TB only. This is this: engaged communities are key to ending TB. So I have combined both these editorials rather than covering them separately. I have covered both the editorials and I'll explain what all has been mentioned, right? So let's see the first editorial. As I've said, this editorial talks about the gender disparity in the tuberculosis crisis in India and how the women are facing challenges in their diagnosis, in their treatment, in their care, right? So YM News, gender aspects of TB crisis, and it covers the GS2, governance and social justice. The next editorial talks about the engaged communities. Basically here you just have to remember two examples which I'll give. Somewhere has been mentioned here that These are the success stories. In this editorial, there is nothing much important, only 2 success stories example, which if there is any, okay, there is buffering again and again. Okay, the technical guy is looking into it. Just give me a minute. Okay, I can see so many comments here. Yes, Ritik, Mamta, Vikas, Rishi, Gagan, Sarita, Sonali. Okay, wait. Yes, wait. Mukul, it's buffering again. Well, is it working? Could you please drop down your comments and tell me if I'm visible, I'm audible? I hope the video is not buffering now. Is it working now? Am I audible, visible? Charita, Gagan, Mamta? Am I visible, everyone? Okay, perfect, perfect. Perfect. Now take a deep breath. Let's come back again. Let's start the editorial again. It's working fine. Suresh, Ruchi, yeah, Sonali, Lavanya, everyone. It's okay, Gagan, it will, eventually it will. So let's start again, okay? These are very small problems. It does occur. That's absolutely fine. Keep your spirits high. Let's cover the rest of the newspaper very quickly. So this editorial talks about the TB crisis and women, why gender issues matters more than ever. As I have told you that this talks about the gender disparities in the tuberculosis crisis in India and how women are facing challenges in diagnosis, in treatment as well as care, and how the gender roles as well as societal expectations has kept women in aloof and they are not able to get the treatment. So they have been excluded from the tuberculosis care. This editorial is totally focused on women centric, women issues, women, the problems, the challenges these women are facing in getting the treatment. So it covers the gender aspects of TB crisis, it covers GS2, governance and social justice. Then we have one more editorial on the same page, that is science page. Now here, engaged communities are key to ending TB. In whole of this article, only 2 success stories are important, which I have mentioned. So I have clubbed both these and tried to give you a holistic approach. Then YN News, as I have mentioned, 24th of March is World TB Day. Which part of syllabus? That is governance and social justice. Now the first one, as I have mentioned, gender challenges. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come back now. Gender challenges in TB treatment. So women in India face significant challenges in accessing and receiving TB related health cares, gender inequality such as stigma, underdiagnosis, financial barriers and more of such that. So they face social isolation, they face loss of income, they face family abandonment, they face loss of work, emotional well-being, psychological well-being is getting affected, as well as many other challenges these women face. So women are overburdened with household responsibilities, making it harder for them to seek medical care or to adhere to long-term TB treatment. The mental toll alongside physical changes such as skin discoloration. So TB में क्या होता है, skin की colors चेंज हो जाती है, थोड़ी थोड़ी discolored हो जाती है, adds to the isolation and discrimination with which they experience. Then the next talks about the TB discrimination, particularly women. They face stigmatization due to changes in their appearance, skin discoloration and negative social perceptions of the diseases. This is compounded by discrimination and abandonment from family and society, which we should not do, right? Many women, especially who are primary caregivers or earners, they hide their diagnosis, even abandon treatment to avoid the social consequences as well as the loss of income. These are very basic points which does not need much of the explanation. Then again, gender plays a very significant part in delayed diagnosis and treatment initiation. Women's symptoms are often normalized or under prioritized, leading to their worsened health conditions. Absolutely, yeah, nice. Then in grassroots setting, women with TB often experience neglect from both healthcare system and prone to stopping treatment midway once symptoms appear to subside, putting them at drug resistance. So what they do, अगर आपकी doses लगती जा रही हैं, बीच में they stop taking the doses and that lead to antibiotic resistance, right? Either you complete the whole of the course but do not leave it in between. Then the next, India's TB burden. We all know India is having around 25 to 27% of global TB cases. So we are having quarter of burden, TB burden in the world. So India is one of the highest TB incidences in the world, contributing to 27% of the global burden. We have these many deaths due to TB, significant numbers drug resistant TB and HIV positive patients. Women face specific challenges due to poverty, social stigma and health seeking behavior barriers, right? It's working fine, Charita, you can just refresh. Mukul, it's working fine. So all you have to remember is the first point, highest TB incidences contributing to 27% of the global burden, right? Then next talks about the government initiatives. As we know, India National TB Elimination Program, which focuses on early detection, effective treatment and prevention. We have Nikshay Poshan Yojana, which provides DBT to TB patients for nutritional support and are critical for improving treatment adherence and health outcomes. Then we have Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan to engage communities in the fight against TB and additional support to those who are undergoing treatment. We have one more campaign, that is TB Harega, Desh Jeetega. So you should be knowing all of this, as well as the target year one has mentioned, that is 2025. So India is aiming to end TB by 2025. That is 5 years ahead of the global target. Then these are the two success stories which I want you to remember, right? The first is survivors against TB in India, as well as we have South Africa success story, that is Desmond Tutu TB Center. So one by one, it's a powerful example of survivor-led movement, successfully advocated for patient right policy changes and improved access to nutritional as well as mental support to the TB patients. Then we have one more success story from South Africa, that is Desmond Tutu TB Center, which uses soccer to educate the school children, highlighting the importance of integrating the local culture into public health education. So it is their way of spreading awareness about the TB patients. And we have also Kick TB initiative. It's of this Desmond Tutu TB Center. So in this you have to remember both these success stories. Once you mention examples in your main answer, it enhances the credibility, right? It's working fine now. Then the next, we'll come to prelims news. We have the first news, Kaliyattam festival. Kaliyattam festival is a famous festival of the state, that is Kerala. It was in news. This is the screenshot. Here we have mentioned, and this is it's a very bold picture if you see. So Kaliyattam festival, that is Kerala. Theyam is a art form which is famous in the Malabar region of Kerala, right? It's an art form, it's a combination of dance, music, right? It honors the spirits, the deities, the heroes, as well as the spiritual ancestors, right? So Theyyam is a vibrant and ancient ritual art form predominantly practiced in North Malabar region of Kerala. Kaliyattam festival, Kerala, as I've mentioned. Then we have one more PYQ. So what sort of PYQs are being asked? It was asked in 2018. Consider the following pairs. They have given the tradition and here the state. Chapchurkut festival, Kongjam Parba Ballad and Thangta dance. Anyone give me the answers now? Okay, chat is disconnected. Is it working? Huh? So this is the PYQ of 2018 that has been based on the festivals which have been asked. Is it working fine now? I really apologize for the technical issue which we faced today. It will be working fine. There was some internet issue. I apologize. Sachin, Charita, Gagan. Okay. Okay, yeah, I can see the comments. So this is the PYQ. Quickly solve this PYQ. It was based on this. I'll give you a quick brief if any of you has missed it. I understand Mamta, Sonali. It's absolutely fine. Let's come here. Let's come here. Okay, so let's solve this. Kaliyattam festival is a famous festival of Kerala and they perform a art, that is Theyyam art. Theyyam art is a Theyyam art is a mixture of the music, the dance, right, in which they worship spiritual ancestors, the heroes, the gods, the local deities, right? So Theyyam is a vibrant and ancient ritual art form predominantly practiced in the North Malabar region of Kerala, India. Kaliyattam festival is a famous festival of Kerala. And again we have a PYQ we will see here. To quickly solve this PYQ, show me that encouragement. Despite the challenges, we'll study, right? Kalariapattu, absolutely right. Solve this question. Very good, Mamta. Absolutely. Mamta, Vikas, Gagan, Sonali, Charita, Rishi, Abhinav, everyone has given the correct answer. The correct answer is B. The correct answer is B here. So, Chapchurkut festival is of Mizoram, correct. Kongjum Parba Ballad is of Manipur. Thangta dance is of which state? It's of North Sikkim. It's of Manipur. Right, so the correct answer is 1 and 2. Very good, all of you have given the correct answer. Then we have Defense Acquisition Council. Here this was in news. If you just figure it out, I have picked up Defense Acquisition Council out of here. Defense procurement process to become faster. We'll quickly see Defense Acquisition Council. It's the highest decision making body in the Defense Ministry for deciding on new policies and capital acquisition. That is Army. जो भी capital acquisition या जो भी defense procurement चाहिए होता है तीनों services को, that is Army, Navy and Air Force as well as Indian Coast Guard. If any sort of acquisition is required, so this is the highest decision making body in the Defense Minister. Very good, Vikas, Rishi, you all have given the correct answer. What's the objective? To ensure expeditious procurement of the approved requirement of the armed forces, right? Listen to me very carefully, then I have a prelims practice question for you. Right here, when it was formed after Kargil war. It was formed after the group of ministers recommendation on reforming the national security system in 2001, post Kargil war in 1999. Then composition, who is the chairman of the Defense Acquisition Council? Defense Minister. Who is the chairman? Defense Minister. Presently Rajnath Singh is the chairman of the DAC. Its members include Chief of Defense Staff and Chief of Army, Navy as well as Air Force, right? Then you have a prelims practice question. Solve this question quickly and give me the correct answer, everyone. Gagan, Vikas, Rishi, read the question carefully. Read the question. No one has given the correct answer. Gagan, Vikas, Rishi, Sonali. Read the fourth statement again. Read the fourth statement again. Abhinav, Sachin, no one has given the correct answer. Read the fourth statement again. Absolutely, Charita. Ritik, yes, absolutely right. Gagan. So the question says, consider the following statements about Defence Acquisition Council. The Defence Acquisition Council is the apex body in the Ministry of Defence for decision making on defence procurement. This is absolutely right. DAC is chaired by Prime Minister of India. No, it's not chaired by Prime Minister of India. It's by Defence Minister of India. Then the primary objective of DST is to ensure timely acquisition of defence equipment in a transparent and efficient manner. Absolutely right. The DAC plays a key role in the formulation of defence policy, but not in the procurement process. That's the first line I mentioned. They want the procurement process to be more faster, right? To be more efficient, to be more transparent, to be more faster. At least जो अभी जितना ये problems हो रही हैं वो problems now, that is why this council work for that, right? So it's a wrong statement. The correct answer is 1 and 3, right? So the first is correct answer. Fourth statement is wrong. They do play role in the procurement process, right? Then comes the IMAC. So I have covered this. The tariff war, as you all know, this was in news. Here Trump is appreciating the IMAC, right? He is looking forward for IMAC, that he wants to implement the corridor project, the work as soon as possible. So IMAC has been in news since G20 summit in India. So it's important, right? We'll just cover it holistically and very quickly. The proposed IMAC aims to establish comprehensive transportation network. IMAC is India, Middle East, Europe corridor. It's connecting India, Middle East and Europe. It consists of rail, road and sea routes, integrating these regions and enhance the economic as well as the trade connectivity. So these are the corridors, the East Corridor and Northern Corridor. This I will explain it to you here, right? So we have two corridors, that is East Corridor. This is the East Corridor, if you see, because it's connecting India to the Arabian Peninsula, right? This is India, it's connecting to the Arabian Peninsula. So this is East Corridor, and then we have Northern Corridor where Arabian Peninsula is getting connecting to Europe. So this is Northern Corridor, right? You should be knowing India to Arabian Peninsula, Eastern, Arabian Peninsula to Europe, that is Northern Corridor, right? So who are the signatories to it? You should be knowing these 8, that is India, USA, easy to remember, Saudi Arabia, UAE, then we have European Union, we have France, Italy and Germany. All the countries are mentioned here. Go through it, learn it. Then comes the next, the ports to be connected. See, these just skim through, have an idea. When a topic is important, IMAC is on and off in news for the past few months. When it's in news, so any sort of question can be expected, right? So it could be considered the following pairs, some sort of port, something could be given. So you should be knowing all of this, and you just have to read it once or twice, you'll automatically remember that, right? So Mundra Port, Kandla Port in Gujarat, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust in Navi Mumbai. Then we have Middle East Port, that is Fujairah, Jebel Ali, Abu Dhabi, Dammam, Ras Al Khair, that is in Saudi Arabia. And all these ports, the important ones are mentioned here. So you can learn through the visual representation as well. Then the next comes the railway line which connects Fujairah to Haifa Port, that is in Israel, Saudi Arabia, this, Jordan, Israel, Haifa Port, you should be knowing. And Europe, these 3 ports, that is Piraeus Port in Greece, Messina, South Italy, Marseille, France. I am not asking you to remember all of it, but just skim through, get a rough idea so that you do not do any sort of question wrong. Then comes the windfall tax, as it's been in news and you must have studied it previously as well. So I'll give you a quick gist. Whenever the oil companies make exceptionally great huge profits, government charge a tax from them. Government charge a tax so that they can redistribute that tax to the public good. The first such tax was imposed by the UK government in 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine and UK was facing global energy crisis. So windfall tax was imposed then by United Kingdom on the oil and the gas and the mining industries. So I'll quickly read it for you. A windfall tax is a type of tax that is levied on companies or individuals who have made unexpectedly and dramatically large profit due to some external factors. External factors, for example, we have natural disasters, right? We have geopolitical tensions. Geopolitical tensions, as I said, Russia invaded Ukraine. Then we have Israel-Gaza war, the Palestinian issue. All of this, Yemen, US has attacked Houthis in Yemen. So all these are unexpected events, geopolitical headwinds, geopolitical tensions. So due to external factors beyond their control, it is commonly levied on oil industry, gas industry as well as mining industry. The purpose is to capture the extraordinary profit and redistribute it for the public good. Very good, Charita, absolutely right. Then you have a prelims practice question. Solve this question quickly. Absolutely correct, Mamta, Charita, Gagan. The correct answer is B, which says a tax levied on companies that earn unexpectedly high profits due to market fluctuations or the external factors. Absolutely, everyone has given the correct answer. Gagan, Rishi, Sonali, Vikas, Kavi, Lavanya. The correct answer is B, right? So with this, we have come to the end of DNA session. Again, I apologize on the behalf of the team for the technical errors, the technical issues which we have faced today. We will assure that it would not repeat tomorrow and the upcoming DNAs. I apologize and all the very best to all of you. See you all tomorrow at sharp 10 AM for another DNA session. All the best. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you. Thank you so much.